Everyone, thank you for joining tonight's webinar. Our webinars are recorded via WebEx and will be made online after the session. Using Cisco WebEx Event Center, if you're having troubles joining, log out the session and then join through the link sent to you earlier by WebEx or ring our meeting room number 581-858-092 and password is Manila123. You're muted throughout the meeting, but you can chat your thoughts to us through the chat tab. For questions, please type them in the Q&A tab. The speaker is Dr. Alvin Marcelo, Executive Director of the Asia eHealth Information Network.
Good evening. How are you? Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time to my presentation. This is time for us to talk about what occurred in our meeting Bangkok last April 6 to 7, which from and the World Nation, 50 people came together last Bangkok and discussed what would be the possible activities we can do for the next 5 years. And after compiling all of the inputs coming from the parties in that meeting, I'm happy to present to you the draft strategic roadmap, which we hope to present in the 5th AeHIN General Meeting in Mia this coming November, which comes final. So not many of you might know that I have changed roles already. While previously I was the chair of Information Network, we completed our incorporation in Hong Kong. I now shifted to the role of Executive Director, make sure that all the operations for the next 5 years for AeHIN will be managed effectively. And I'll be presenting to you our strategic roadmap 2018 to 2020, and give credit to Dr. Ebner, contributed to some of the slides. For the next 20 minutes is to brief you some of the achievements since we were conceived in 2010 and present the strategic roadmap for the next 5 years. I see some of your pictures here. So we started with our first general meeting in Bangkok, August of 2012. And that was followed by our second general meeting in Pan Pacific Hotel in Manila. The third general meeting was at the Asian Development Bank in 2014. And our 2015 meeting was in Bali. So that's a picture that I'm supposed to insert here. And a picture of the people who were at the visioning workshop in Bangkok last month in the right corner. Not yet aware what AeHIN is all about, we were established in 2011 with support from World Health Organization, with 7 professionals from 6 countries, more than 700 from 25 countries. Our goal is to support the development of e-health country in Asia, and started out in 2011 by a small group of 7 professionals. Changed stories about their own access with e-health in their countries, and that they have a common problem, not have interoperability even within their own ministries of health. They agreed to form this informal network, and with support from the World Health Organization, it from the 7 professionals to the 700 that we have. First general meeting in August of 2012, 6 areas were presented and promoted by the General Assembly. And first, to build capacity for e-health, information systems, and civil registration and vital statistics. Increase peer assistance and knowledge exchange and sharing through effective networking. Third, standards and interoperability within and across countries. And fourth, enhance leadership and sustainable governance, monitoring, and evaluation. And very quickly to the events that form the story thread, so to speak, of AeHIN, starting from the April 2011 meeting in Hoi An, Manila, June 2011, Bangkok 2011, and Bangkok 2012. By September 13, we were holding our second GM in Manila, and then a meeting on enterprise architecture training was held in Kuala Lumpur of March 2014. We had about 18 participants there. COVID Foundation training in Manila on May 2014. In those two Manila events, the Ministry of at Bangladesh also hosted Possible, and AeHIN was an active participant there. In 2014, we had a third AeHIN general meeting. In June 2015, we were at the Measurement and Accountability for Health in Washington, D.C. Subsequently, after that, AeHIN conducted its first, which we now call the Convergence Workshop, in May of August 2015. At my time, we had a interoperability meeting that was by participating at the Combo eHealth Asia, Jakarta, Informatika Kesehatan Indonesia, or FIKI. It's for meetings. In meetings, we slated our draft response to the Measurement and Accountability for Health call to action. To our fourth general meeting, we formalized and presented to the General Assembly. April underwent 5 implementation certification training. Just last March 2016, participated in the Laos CRVS workshop in Vientiane. In Bangkok, we had our visionary workshop. And same time, while we were having our visionary workshop, we were preparing for our Archimate training in Kuala Lumpur, which happened 2 weeks later. And next day, after the Archimate training, went to the conference MA for Health in Dhaka and the Health Data Collaborative. Here, we hope to have our 5th AeHIN General Meeting in Naypyidaw, Myanmar. In 2015, AeHIN invited to participate at Measurement and Accountability for Health Conference in Washington, D.C. In that conference, for health organizers comprised of WHO, USAID, World Bank, and other partners, the participants released a call to action, a 5-point call to action. After the release of the 5-point call to action, the committee began formulating our response to the 5-point call to action, and just published in the Journal of the Thai Medical Informatics Association last year. How we responded, how we as a network are going to the 5-point call to action. So let me go through them one by one. These responses to the 5-point call to action will be crucial in trying the elected to do for the next 5 years. MA for Health call to action 1. Increase and efficiency of investments by government and development partners to strengthen the country health information system with international standards and commitments. And a response to call on is to lead the formation of a sector e-health governance and management structures. For governance frameworks, adopt national Health Blueprint and consolidate the enterprise architects, the few available from the Ministries of Health. So, AeHIN now has a pool of 30 trained in enterprise architecture, and 30 are certified enterprise architects over 5 years. And we plan to leverage these enterprise architects later on in Enterprise Architecture Council for Health. For framework, AeHIN has adopted COVID-5 for a reason that it had a training program and had a certification program. So that are not yet familiar with COVID-5, we schedule a separate session and a more detailed introduction to COVID-5. But actually, it helps enterprises like those organize around complexity of information systems. And framework helps understand what are different boxes that need to be filled up in order to have a robust, functional national health information system. So COVID-5 has been our capacity building program for IT governance. We have a total of 36 participants over 2 trainings, and we have 22 certified in COVID-5 Foundation, certified in COVID-5 implementation. With enterprise architecture, AeHIN is very much everything of having a blueprint when it comes to as national health information systems. And when we need enterprise architecture, it means having to start from understanding of the needs of the business processes. Processes will enumerate the data elements that you need in each of the business process. What from each business processes, then you can collecting that data using applications. In applications, then you can start install applications and running them on top of technology. Architecture approach or methodology puts that discipline among all the stakeholders in the e-health system to make sure that end of all the complexities of creating business processes, data application, and technology, that 4 stacks are actually aligned to each other. And so here we are now forming at AeHIN the Enterprise Architecture Council for Health. Total of 28 trained people, we have certified 12 according to these countries. MA for Health is to strengthen country institutional capacity to compile, share, delegate, analyze, disseminate, and use data at all levels of the health system. And A response to the call to action to consider internationally vetted blueprints, so open health information exchange architectural framework, development of country interoperability labs, electronic medical records, achieve interoperability with their country context. Function 3, which is ensure the countries have well-functioning sources for generating population health data, in civil registration and vital statistic systems, and health surveys tailored to country needs in line with international standards. A response is partners from global, regional, national, and subnational levels to collect and develop their reporting systems. Each of these stakeholders to understand that we are in a continuum. Our data traverse sectors and boundaries. It's through an understanding of complex interrelated level health insurance system that these components will be compelled to work together and create rating systems that are useful for everyone rather for specific sectors of the stakeholder group. The action 4 states to make effective use of the data revolution based on standards to improve health facility and community information systems, including disease and risk surveillance, finance and health workforce accounts, empower decision makers at all levels with real-time access to information. And a response to this call to action is to universities, to each other, and share content responsive to national and regional needs. Finally, the health call to action 5, country and global governance with citizens and participation for stability through monitoring and regular, inclusive, transparent reviews of progress and performance at the facility, national, regional, and global levels linked to health-related SDGs. And for we have proposed two-step approach. The first we mentioned already in response 3 is to define global, regional, and national indicators that is to assist countries develop national and subnational evaluation systems that add to regional and global reporting requirements. This is easy to say, but it's actually a difficult thing to do because of the multi-stakeholder and multi-level nature of data as versus from the facility level go to the provincial, national, regional, and global levels. So out of our visioning workshop last April are of concern for the next 5 years. The group Bangkok agreed that we should continue to strengthen the network through meetings by collaborative projects between our members, website, and all our technologies such as mailing lists and HingeX to enhance the of our members. It's about guiding all our capacity building activities on the name of the AeHIN Academy. So our trainings, our webinars, our AeHIN hours, and include our research activities together with the Asia Pacific Ubiquitous Care Collaborative. We them under the of the AeHIN Academy. Third, to strengthen that special group called Enterprise Architecture Council for Health, or REAP. The REAP will serve as a resource for enterprise architects in the region, and anticipate that countries will start to request requests for architectural work to the Enterprise Architecture Council for Health. Number is to a regional reference interoperability lab, which includes the AeHIN Geographic Information Systems Lab as a reference or a template for the in-country community of interoperability labs. And a slide later on that depicts how this lab relates. We have to continue offering our convergence workshops to countries who request for these. And having our next one in Bhutan, Nepal, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Samoa. Now, since the general meeting in Bali, we've also, with the help of the Asian Development Bank, brief on health identifiers, civil division, vital statistics, and geographic information system. So you can go to the AeHIN.org website, download this ADB policy briefs, or the ADB website as well. Support Laos CRDS program. Punchay, myself, and Ms. Lori Thorell from UNICEF, with the support of Ms. Ed Dufus from Plan International, are the government of Laos with their civil registration and vital statistics. And we need to keep this of our members around the GIS lab, the information systems, in connection with member evaluation. To implementing countries, which number 12 right now, in our relation with the Asia Pacific Ubiquitous Health Collaborative research, and we have 10 PhD students who are going to work on speaks of AeHIN, community interoperability labs, and I will show them in my next slide. So they'll be operating in the next 5 years. 7 individuals, 700 individuals, to strengthen institutional membership in AeHIN. So on the side, you can see one such institution, which is the Regional Enterprise Architecture Council for Health. And on it, you will see the Community of Interoperability Labs. And that each country in Asia will at least have one interoperability lab. Errors from those countries can go to their country lab and their medical records, hospital information systems, able to achieve interoperability in the lab setting. We're also putting up a regional interoperability lab, which is the main hub of the country interoperability labs. Those who are not yet familiar with the Open Health Information Architecture Framework, here is a very simple schematic of the HIE architecture to start implementing the actual framework sometime soon in Myanmar, in the Philippines, as they develop the Philippine Health Information Exchange. Tomorrow, I will go into the Health Enterprise Architecture work of the AeHIN eHealth Strategic Framework and Plan, the National Governance Group, and explain indeed the Open HIE Architecture Framework. Finally, you the capacity roadmap, which we developed more than 3 years ago when we were just about to start the activities of AeHIN. At AeHIN, we believe that each country should start with their national eHealth strategy, their actions regarding how they will use and develop eHealth in their country. And we recommend the WHO ITU National Strategy Toolkit as their resource. As in their national eHealth strategy, one component of the strategy will be leadership and governance. And for this, we recommend that specific leaders in each country should have an understanding of IT governance and understanding of COVID-5. Now, in the governance framework, there is a box called, there is a major process on each enterprise architecture. And for architecture, AeHIN recommending that people in each Ministry of Health would at least have an understanding of the group architecture framework. Subsequently, once you have an enterprise architecture or a blueprint for eHealth in your country, to have standards such as ISO, HL7, and IHE, management such as INS2 or management professional, and ITIL or Information Technology Infrastructure Library for IT operations. we begin this sequence of capacity building in health. This country will develop the capacity to maintain the national health information system. In fact, over the past 5 years, this peer-to-peer network has been shown to be a platform for learning, especially resources are scarce and the domain is complex. With information technology in healthcare is often confusing, complex, and it often overwhelms policymakers and health practitioners. Therefore, it proposes an e-health capacity roadmap where the adoption of frameworks such as the WHO ITU National Strategy Toolkit and COVID and adoption of based blueprint methodologies such as group architecture framework or TOGAF, and countries navigate through this complex environment of health information technology. Share their best practices and lessons learned, they steep learning curve together and help each other avoid committing the same mistakes. And best are shared and common grounds are found, paving the way for cooperation and interoperability. Here we hope that we will have this the first regional lab established, after we will start accepting requests for interoperability work in the lab and also start accepting enterprise architecture work for reach and also start accepting requests for convergence workshops in the Asian countries that are members of AeHIN. And very much for listening in and happy to answer your questions. Shari?
Well, let them in the Q&A tab. Which the presence of the other working council members and would like to see additional details.
Do you want to add something to my presentation? And Angela also. So if you have any questions, I can answer them. And, we can also ask some of the working council members who are online, who are in the visioning workshop, to share some of their insights, their forecasts.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, I was thinking that our roadmap, we start with looking into e-health policy and strategy, and then leadership and management, and we go up the ladder. So we have been following that also in Malaysia. Yeah, that's like correct. We have been following that in Malaysia, but the operability profile, HIE, and so forth, we are doing our connectathon on 15th of June.
Yes. Can you tell us more about that?
Okay, on 15th of June, we are doing a connectathon for our Malaysia Health Information Exchange and follow the Open HIE framework. So we are testing on exchanging discharge summary and e-referrals for the time being. So invited all the vendors in the country who have systems to test it in a lab to exchange data to the central repository.
How many participants are you expecting on June 15 that will connect to the exchange?
The under contract, this is for 6 pilot sites. So main vendors in pilot sites. So all 3 main vendors will try out, But I've also invited other vendors as observers for the time being, and also some external parties like academia and the private sector as an observer. Not to test it yet.
Wow. Be exciting.
Yeah, I think that'll be exciting. So once it's done, I will give you all the updates and maybe some pictures and videos.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it's purely on OpenHIE and framework.
So HIE framework.
Correct. Yeah. Vendor who's doing our health information exchange platform.
Okay.
Part of their deliverables is to develop this connectathon and to do the lab.
I think once you're done with the connection, maybe we can invite some of the Connectathon participants on an AeHIN hour.
Yeah.
Share.
Okay.
Transpired.
That's great. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes. From Dr. Morsaline.
Dr. Bruce, go ahead.
Are you heard me? Hello?
Yes, can we hear?
I just want to share two things. Thing is that we are going to release to launch the books and all the hard copy books about the experience of developing the information standard in Thailand. And we in the next month, and we will share this among our network. Nothing is that it's similar to Dr. Fasila said that last week we one of the Thailand in northeast part of Thailand. The community of the hospitals in that which is 26 hospitals, including the chief health office. This will use the point as the standard to exchange laboratories. As we go there with them. They have 4 application health information system and are going to use this same standard. I think the next 3 to 6 months, you have the result and experience on this and how each application or vendor working and that we can share this among our network.
Chai, the logical observation identifiers
are names and codes. It's the identifier of the laboratories test or identifiers of the test. And the hospital in that province, 26 hospitals, they want to exchange the laboratory results. So they agree to comply to this standard. And we have worked with them to create the master laboratory item dictionary. Every hospital will be able to map their local laboratory code to this international laboratory standard.
Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Will they exchange information? Will they put up an information exchange or they will do point-to-point over?
Do the information exchange as they have a center as the provincial health office. Actually, in Thailand, we already have some kind of the standard data set to exchange, and also they will use the thing. Before that, they use a different laboratory standard. That's why they cannot exchange. Right now, they agree to use the same standard. So it's on of of what we already have. We already have the similar as DHIS2 in Thailand. It's a different name, but it's similar for the functionality is similar to the DHIS2, but that data set is only for Thailand.
Okay. In Thailand, we already have a standard, but now more likely using Loin inside that standard data set, right?
We are using we only use the standard, the Thai TMT, the Thai medicine terminology for the reimbursement, and that for the reimbursement across the countries, which is I explained in the ebook that we are going to distribute next month, and we'll share it in our network. About the principle of the interoperability and health information standard, and in this book also explain our experience on these all these standards.
Yes. Listening workshop. View copy. We hope to share in soon as an ebook and also as a piece in our AeHIN GM. Basil, you have your hand raised. Do you want to say something before I take a question from Dr. Mercedes?
Oh, hello. The preview is in the visioning workshop, but this ebook is the extended one.
Oh, okay.
It's more extended. It includes the general knowledge about the interoperability and standard, the whole principle of standard.
I don't have a copy of that yet, Dr. Bunch. I hope that one as soon as it's available.
Yes, I will distribute in our network. Oh.
Alvin,
Yes, go ahead.
just wanted to share with you on Friday we released the list for lab, for the lab also, and then we have using the line code. So we released it as a national list. Now, right now for the Mind Health Information Exchange, we'll be doing integration profile for lab results and also drug information exchange.
Integration profile is from
The AeHIN one for the
AeHIN.
yeah. Remember the connectathon that we are doing?
Yes.
That this time we only focus on discharge summary and e-referral. So we have done the integration profile. Then we'll be doing for lab results exchange and also drug information exchange.
Perfect. As you can share as soon as you can, you will use the same profiles in our country.
Yeah,
We
because
don't have
it's an HIE profile anyway. Yeah, correct.
Right. And then there's a question from Rosaline from Pakistan. What details of convergence workshop, and one in Pakistan, what is the procedure? And I'll ask Dr. Bunchai to answer that question. Because the first convergence workshop was in Myanmar last year. He was the one who facilitated that. Go ahead, Dr. Bunchai.
The converting workshop is kind of the workshop that we will gather all the developing partners and all the stakeholders in the countries, like the Ministry of Health, ICT, statistics, together and let the in the countries meet with each other, discussing about the e-health developing roadmap with the support by all the developing partners. So convergence workshop both converge the developing partner to work together on the e-health strategy, and so the stakeholder like the disease control department, the service department, the malaria project, the HIV project. So everyone will see the same pictures and then agree on what they are going to do for the next 5 or 10 years on the e-health study or roadmap. We have done one last year in Myanmar. It's quite successful that people in the country that never discussed before, they chance to come know each other and then agree on that they will they will work the same framework and use the internal abiding to the standard. In next month June, we'll do in Bhutan, and July we will be doing in Nepal. It means that we have our collaborator in each country and have working with WHO, AB, UNICEF, and AeHIN for almost a year to set up this converging workshop. So the main success of the converging is the people in the country of the champion who are eager and want to gather all the stakeholders to see the same picture of the e-health strategies. Bhutan and Nepal had working with developing partners like WHO, ADB, and UNICEF and AeHIN for about a year. And now they're ready to take off this for countries like Laos, Cambodia, or Pakistan. If think that people can collaborate and want the developing partner and AeHIN to go and gather, help people together in stakeholder to work, then you country. So I encourage all our working councils who are in each country, like in Laos, Cambodia, or Vietnam, or Pakistan, or other countries, that you think you want this kind of the convergence to working with in our network to set up this job. I think the WHO, ADB are very happy and want to working with countries over.
Okay, and Dr. Celine has a follow-up question. If materials from the workshop in Myanmar can be shared so that they see the program of activities? And yes, so I'm instructing Reese and Christine to provide to Dr. Murzin the program of activities of the Convergence workshop last year. I think what really made that very successful is there's a gathering of all the stakeholders in Myanmar, the Ministry of Health, the different programs and the different development partners, and agreeing together come up with a cohesive, unified roadmap for how to use information technology in the sector. So the step to answer the question of Dr. Saline, a request from the Ministry of Health to AeHIN for a convergence workshop. After that, we can start helping the Ministry of Health prepare for necessary requests to the development partners. So in Myanmar, we were able to bring UNICEF, ADB, WHO. I think we also had DHIS2 came over. And AeHIN was the one assisting the Ministry of Health in crafting the appropriate letters, coming up with a program of activities, and the lineup of the resource persons. Then the question from Dr. Roshan, since Derek is also here on the line, would you know the plan for OpenHIE support in AeHIN, a plan for OpenHIE training through a community of interoperability lab? Question, and then I'll ask Derek if he has a microphone to ask the second one. So the question is there a plan for OpenHIE training through a community of interoperability lab? The question I will answer is, would like to know the plan for OpenHIE support for AeHIN. So, Dr. Ran, we will be getting support from ADB to come with a reference regional interoperability lab discussed in the visioning workshop in Bangkok. And this reference regional interoperability lab will be establish the capacity for the other community of interoperability labs. As of the reference regional interoperability lab, is mainly anchored on the OpenHIE architecture, including the developmental capabilities to install, maintain, and connect systems like medical record, hospital information systems to that OpenHIE architecture. Do you want to add something? Do you have a microphone? Yeah, Eric.
Alex is already gone.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Oh, I didn't see you.
So,
Derek,
good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Toronto. So one of the things that we had an opportunity to do at the Vision meeting just a few weeks ago was to have attendees at the meeting some representatives from the Health and eHealth Development and Innovation Center in Hamilton, in Canada. And they will be colleagues to help us. They have been participating with AeHIN for some time and will be very actively participating to help us establish our first regional lab. And one of the things that they also committed to do at that meeting was to work with us to develop some training materials. And I just am going to paste into the chat window to some of the course materials that they have developed. They're embedded at an academic institution in Canada called Mohawk College. And they have been, over the course of the last number of years, developing e-learning materials around some of the core training areas that are foundational to OpenHIE and to information exchanges generally. So they developed some training materials regarding HL7, which is a standard for health informatics messaging and content. They developed some training materials generally regarding IHE. IHE is an acronym for Integrated Healthcare Enterprise, and the IHE profiles. Profiles are quite exactly like standards. Profiles are actually akin to implementation guides. Implementation guides describe in a precise way and in a typical way how standards will be used to support interoperability. And so the IHE profiles are quite used in Canada, and the MEDLAB has a domestic role to play in being a test facility and an ability lab for Canada. But they're also the global standards that underlie the HIE framework. Some training materials regarding IHE. One of the things that I will hope is that our new COIL regional lab will firstly leverage some of the from the medic lab to take some of the training materials and tune them for our regional needs, and then start to develop similar materials speak directly to what are some of the requirements that we know our AeHIN members have, and make these available through our COIL lab. And I would hope also provide some in-person training that we can perhaps deliver outside our general meeting, be it a day-long training that's before, after our general meeting, that sort of thing. So online training resources as well as in-person training resources, I think we should expect to be a public good that comes out of our COIL.
Correct. So I'm taking note of a possibility of a pre-conference workshop in Nepitao for to get exchange between the MEHOC, the reference regional lab, and the country interoperability labs. Any more questions from the participants? I'd like to show the if you want anything in our activity list. So I think we'll be very, very busy in the next few months preparing for our general in Nepitao. Continue our webinars. We have a long list of topics already lined up. We're going to invest a lot on the reference interoperability lab in this lab. And we will be going around doing and facilitating convergence workshops. And there's actually a lot of activity already. I'm pitying Dr. Bunchay because he's the one going to these convergence workshops. Very much Dr. Bunchay. I see, but also that these convergence workshops are very helpful to our countries. And Dr. Win from Myanmar, when will pre-conference workshop conduct in Nepitao? It will be on November 28th. The Ministry of Health will agree on our schedule, Dr. Win. We're proposing November 28 to December 1 for our AeHIN PM. November 28 is a pre-conference workshop. So we're getting a lot of events already on these pre-conference workshops. There will be the DS2 workshop, the BIS workshop, there will be workshop, there will be a COIL workshop, and on November 29, 30, that will be the main conference, and on December 1 will be a field visit or study tour. Mr. Fadila, I just hand raised right now. Go ahead.
The telemedicine conference agenda to everyone.
Okay.
In the AeHIN community, and I would really encourage you to come. And if there are some group of people come, then I can maybe arrange for some visits to see some of the implementations here in Malaysia. Make concurrent.
Yeah. I shared this in the mailing list.
Okay.
The latest program, telemedicine conference in Malaysia, this August, right?
August 16 to 18.
Yes. Ministry of Health in cooperation with Monash University and partners. This is one.
Yeah, second.
I'm trying to find a way to go there.
Yeah.
Because I think telemedicine will be very, very important in our region in the next few years. So
yeah.
I've been getting a lot of calls already right now in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What will we do with our telemedicine? And I think we need to start exchanging information. And I do believe that there will be cross-border, Dr.
Yes.
So I think cross-border telemedicine at some point we need to start talking about how to do this.
Yeah,
Do not step on each other's toes, but at the same time make the most out of the technology.
Yes, correct.
Thank you very much. Dr. Dr. Buday, you have a raised hand.
Just to inform Dr. Su Min Win that the the collaborator or our champion in Myanmar is Miss AeHIN. Are waiting for the Myanmar government to agree on our proposed date. So if you want have any session and question, you can talk with Min in Ministry of Health, Myanmar.
Okay. We have a follow-up question from Dr. Celine. Are technical groups formed during Bali conference functioning? What are their out still now? So the answer to the question is yes. On GIS last time in Bali, the GIS lab, a policy paper, our website and on the ADB website. Also started our NGO account using with the developer of ArcGIS software. So we were able to get a very, very low price for licenses for ArcGIS, which we share with the AeHIN membership, 150 licenses compared to the members. We are still sorting out how to distribute that in a cost-effective way. Routine health information system. They were working we start from measure evaluation, a course of the routine health information system, June in Delhi. After that, the New Delhi course. We will rate the course and see which country or countries to offer the routine health information system next time. For the 19 countries, they continue to have their own mailing lists and amongst themselves how to support each other. For which we now have a commitment from at least 4 universities for PhDs to work on AeHIN research topics on governance, architecture, standards, and program management. And group on community of interoperability labs. We are about to get form the reference regional interoperability lab. Start work on the open HIE architecture as a working architecture of the interoperability lab. So those are the output from the groups that formed in Bali last year. Yes, share the presentation. Any comments? Dr. Fazila, go ahead.
No comment.
Okay, your hand is raised on the screen.
Really?
Yes.
I put a comment there about putting effort in steps.
Yes.
I think it's very important, but I think I really encourage other countries to do this. I think Thailand is doing a lot, and of course Philippines, but the rest, yeah.
Take a suggestion. I think I agree. So once the book of Dr. Bunchai comes out, I think we should start looking at referencing it, showing it also to our ministries of health, especially for those countries who have not yet started their work on governance, strategy, and architecture.
Yeah.
So the Nectathon output, Dr. Villa, once you are ready, you can show the methodology and what were the benefits that accrued the Ministry of Health.
Okay. And also for this year, we are doing the the final test for the data warehouse.
Yes.
And the GIS, so that should be out by December for the nationwide primary care system, clinical system.
Primary care system be part of the Connectathon or not yet?
The vendor will be part of the Connectathon because we are doing the e-referral, between secondary and tertiary care to the primary care.
Wow.
So it is part of the Connectathon.
It'll be very interesting. So
Yeah, the primary care will be very interesting.
what is our AeHIN hour? It is now 9 o'clock. Are there any more questions? To thank everyone for spending time with us, especially those who are on our list on the scene right now. Professor Shinji Kobayashi at Record Laboratory in Kyoto, Japan. We hope to loop in the laboratory lab to get inputs also on the Japanese experience and see all our Dr. Roshan, Dr. Pamod, Merceline, and all our new ones. Aman, Marco, Muhammad, with Muhammad before, Toran, and Binay Venu. Thank you very much for joining our webinar. Clear that you're on the mailing list. There's a lot of activity and movement right now on the mailing list, and a lot of artifacts to be shared. So by being active in the mailing list, you'll have access to all the resources and the activities that are forthcoming. Thank you and good night, Asia. Good morning, Canada.